Hi, afternoon, guys. I nearly said good morning. We are now heading into the New York EM session, so I suppose it is a good morning for the guys that watch in New York. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share the screen and go over a little bit of something before we head to the charts. So this morning I did the session that is uploaded here, so that'll be below further down on my wall on the London session. I went over an entry and I spoke about the different key levels, and we have hit the 6.31% profit as we head into this session here. Okay, so again, what we're going to do, we're going to head into the 15 minutes and we're going to be watching key levels. We're going to be looking at key levels of the previous sessions and in previous days. Okay, we've came through the spike here or the gap. We could go through the target of the New York EM session yesterday. That's on the CAD GPY. The Euro USD, let's just take a look. We'll just minimize all this. And we'll do the same with this. So on this, we are in a bit of an uptrend. As you can see, we're caught consolidation here, but we've been making higher lows and higher highs. Targets at the moment and areas of interest is most certainly above here. So we'll actively keep an eye on that. The Euro USD, again, we do have a gap, right? Because we are on an uptrend, high highs, higher lows, higher highs, high lows, high highs, high lows, higher highs. We do have a gap up here to possibly fulfill. So we'll wait and see. We get a 15-minute in A and see we get a reversal, and then we'll see we come back down into the London session. Okay. So as we'll do, I'm just going to pause the video. We've got the bias of what we're expecting, what I want to see on these is obviously when we've came down. Okay, I want to see a bit of this as my computer freezes up. Maybe something like that. Okay. And then a bit similar with regards to what we're seeing on maybe come back down into the London. And then again on the GU, we're already coming up into this uh, top end liquidity area. Other than that, when we scroll back, we do have what I would class as an FU wick a little bit higher up, so we could reach up into this. We delve into this a bit more, so that's my zones because we understand we've been in high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. We've broken all of this zonal liquidity. Okay, you see where all these LO highs at New York L for lunch, New York PM session, and again Asians. All of this has been liquidated and pushed through. The only other place where we can go to is liquidity here, reside on the top of there. And further back, we've got a bit of an FU wick. And we do have some imbalances up here as well. But I do expect the momentum to sort of dissipate. We can see 15-minute candles. If we go up to the 1 hour, we can see we've been very, very bullish for the past hour. Okay. But we work upon the 15-minute chart on this. The system is the fire entry. What we're waiting for on the Great British Pound, okay, is something a bit like this. It may consolidate a bit in these upper regions, but we're just going to wait 15 minutes. We need to see after an engulfing, after a bullish candle, we need to see an engulfing bearish, and then we can move into what we call the what's the word I was looking for? I was using it this morning. Oh, it slipped me mind, guys. It slipped me mind. Momentum, the momentum wand, which is just basically annotation of where we are on price, and we're just going to watch. Like I say, we're going to watch the next candle after this one closes. We're going to see if we're going to continue up or whether we're going to get that displacement and come below its liquidity. Okay, so plenty to watch. We've got the CAD JPY, the Euro USD, and the GBP USD. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video for a bit, guys, and we'll be back in a short while. All right, so it's 2:15. Like I say, we're on the 15-minute chart. We will be checking the candle every 15 minutes. I just thought I'd give you a progress update. The bias is what we've set out here. So far, we're starting to get a retracement back on here. Uh, like I say, it could happen at any point within one of these zones. That's on the Great British Pound USD. Let's take a look at the currency strength. The Great British Pound is pretty strong. The USD is super weak, so we may push higher. The Euro is massively strong at the minute in the markets. We'll take a look at the Euro. The Euro should have momentum pushing. This will explain why we're seeing a lot of this. Like I said, on the FX Street, which is the news area, which I tend to look. Okay, we'll have a look to see what news is coming in as well. We've got the CAD news is coming in, so we've got CAD JPY. So this is orange folder as well. And then within the window, we do have the natural gas storage, which I don't think will have too much of effect. The 4-week bill action, and then we do have a Great British Pound speech later on. Excuse me. And then a USD speech later on as well. So at the moment, there's nothing to cause too much concern other than this here, the Euro. The Euro will have a speech in the coming hour. The CAD, or was that the CAD? With the CAD as well. The CAD within the hour. The Euro didn't have a speech. Sorry, I do apologise. Where am I getting Euro from them? Yeah, so the CAD's has got the news a bit later within the hour. It is Spanish Constitution Day in Spain all day, so again, the national holiday, I suppose. But we are waiting for a possibility of a take of the New York AM session high still. Still just watching this at the moment. However, like I said, we can see we had a gap. We filled the gap. So the other liquidity area at the top end is residing on here, but also on this little bit of a down push. And obviously we've got order blocks in here as well. Nice 6.31% from this morning's session. If you haven't seen that, check my other posts on my Facebook wall or go to the Forex Fire members YouTube page. We'll go into the Euro. We'll check this. We've got 10 minutes left of this particular candle. Again, momentum. When I spoke about momentum, I want to see price sort of push and pull and give some displacement on a bearish candle. We're waiting to see that. At the moment, this is showing bearishness, but it's still contained within the previous candle. The GU, similar again, we're looking at slight bearishness. Again, the GU, the Great British Pound, we do have USD news at 3:30. Nothing massive. However, there is a Bank of England speech at 5 p.m. So again, we could get manipulation on this to the build-up. With regards to what we're seeing at the minute, we are in the zones of where I expect maybe a possibility of a reverse. And why is that? It's simply because we've got liquidity here. We are in an uptrend since yesterday. And then higher up, we do have an FU wick right there as well. So we've got unmitigated price action in there. But at the moment, as we stand again, we get the momentum wand out, as I would call for annotation. We want to see this push down and come well below this here and give us a displacement. So we get this momentum coming down, we can then expect a bit of a pullback into a retracement area, which will go further into detail if we get that displacement. Okay, I'll pause video. We'll come back. It'll be just after 2:30 when I come back on. We'll come on every 15 minutes to give an update for the next candle. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Right, so we're into a new candle, guys. We did have some bearishness, but the bulls want to try and take it on that little bit more. So we're into a fresh candle. We did come down a wick below the liquidity here. The bias is still standing at the moment for the GU, the EU. Again, the euro is super strong at the minute. We can see here the euro 94%. We might not get a trade in this session, but we thought that in the last one and we got a belter of 6.31% on the CAD JPY. So again, the CAD and the JPY super weak. The lowest 3%. Let's go at the CAD JPY. Again, this is why the CAD is massively spiking up as well. We might even see if the JPY is so weak, we could actually end up coming up into this sort of area, and more so. You've got a bit of an order block going on here as well. Pip wise, where we are at the minute, 26 pips, between 26 and 70 pips into these higher zones. We've just got to be mindful of watch. If I don't get any sort of setup heading into 3 o'clock, I'll still have this recorded. I'll be uploading it to Facebook and it'll be uploaded to YouTube as well. So by the time you're watching this, it's going to be on either one of those platforms. At the moment, my bias is for the direction to continue bullish. We've marked our liquidity areas and our key levels. We've done that in the CAD JPY. Again, we go back onto the currency strength. CAD is really strong. The JPY is super weak. This is going to continue bullish, most certainly, possibly to take the liquidity on the buy side, in my opinion. The Euro USD, let's take a look at the Euro USD. So the Euro, super strong. USD it's starting to gain a little bit of strength, but compared to 94% strength, we just know that this is going to head further up. Let's have a look, see if there's any other liquidity zones. We do have liquidity residing just here. And again, we've broken through the gap, which was to be expected. We do have this here. So what we could see is the liquidity zonal area of this here pushing out. This could be another potential zone. So we may actually come up into here because we've broken through this bit now. And this may be where we may, I'm not saying it will, but that's where I would expect to start to see a part of a reversal, okay? So this here is a gap. We'll just put this in here. Was a gap in the market. We'll just go that to 16. I'll just put that into here. And we know we've mitigated into that. Let's go and have a look at the GU. So again, on the GU, the GBP, super strong as well. Obviously, the USD, it's gone from 20-odd% down to 19, 18%. So again, momentum is in the favour of the Great British Pound. We are going to push through the zones that I had marked. Let's just go up into the hour chart and we'll see where the other fair value bits are. We've got one here. Okay, there's fair value zone there. But we also have another one that little bit higher up into here. Okay, so we've got areas where we've got zones. We've got liquidity zones where we expect price could pull into, and then hopefully we might start getting that bit of a reversal. We'll come and pull our bias that little bit further up, to be fair. Put this in here. So that's what I'm expecting. I can get rid of this zone now because I know we've poked through it. I do believe that we will go higher before we pull down a bit more. So that's the update with 10 minutes left. I'll come back on at around about 1:45, okay, and we'll see where we are with the candle. But I do believe at this moment in time, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of what I expect with the bias at the minute. It may come a bit later on tonight in the PM session. It is NFP tomorrow as well. But let's continue watching this. Let's see if we go into our liquidity zones. We're taking key areas, and then we'll see if we can catch a trade on the retracement. But for now, we can see the cards, the JP, GBP, and the euro. It definitely got momentum to the bullish side. The JPY is super weak, and so is the US dollar. So the momentum is on the uptrend, to be fair. Okay, I'll see you in about 10-15 minutes. And okay, guys, so we're coming into 10 seconds left of the candle for the CAD JPY. We can see we are a little bit bearish now. We have swept the New York high. Okay, we haven't engulfed those, so maybe we'll get a continuation on this one. We are consolidating a bit. I just want to look at the CAD JPY news. The JPY is gaining a bit more strength now. So this is gaining a bit more strength now, hence why we're seeing the consolidation a bit, I would say. Okay. From there, we are going to take a look at the Euro USD. See where we are here. Again, we've just come into the new candle. We've been super strong. So I would expect this candle to maybe start trying to do a little bit of bearishness. We'll keep tabs on that. And similar to the GBP USD, okay, we have had strong momentum on the GBP and the euro. So my directional bias is to come up into these liquidity, take the grabs, and then possibly come back down. Because each session we have just been breaking the higher highs, So each session here, highs, lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. I do expect some form of higher low to come back into maybe a session area of 50%, or not even of 50%, because if we are making an uptrend, each session you can see here, we've been breaking highs, highs, highs. We do have a high at the minute, so I do expect some form of retracement to come maybe down towards the London high, We do have the true day open, which is down here as well. So there is every possibility where we get some form of news can come in. If we follow our set rules and conditions, we could get an entry and we could say, right, well, we could target the London low, but there could be an ultimate key area for the true day open of the day. Also, the lowest key area could be the Asian session low as well. But we just need to watch and just be patient. That's one thing you've got to learn, is to be patient. And there's nothing more patient than what we use with the setup with this. The Euro USD, like I say, we are bullish still on here. Similar sort of process, highs, lows, high highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. We're making higher highs out of the previous session. So this would indicate we need, after the momentum bullish push, we do need some sort of pullback. Pullbacks, we do enter with the criteria. Key levels to go to the downside could be the London high, could be the London low, could be a true day open down here, and we also have a key level of the Asian session low as well. Okay, so again, once you get used to doing all these key levels and what you identify as the true liquidity areas, then you can't go wrong. And once again, we'll go into that CAD JPY. Let's just take a look again on this. We were in an uptrend. We came back down from a higher low, higher high. We sort of mitigated, consolidated, and come into 50% of the Asian of yesterday. We've now gone to try and push to mitigate through the PM session of New York, Asia. We've got the 6.31% this morning, which was fantastic. A little bit more of a continuation. We understand we've got liquidity on this New York AM session from yesterday, but if we do continue bullish, we do have higher liquidity markups with regards to areas of fair value and order blocks a little bit higher up. If we do get the retracement without going into these, the key area levels of target are as follows. We've got the true day open, okay, from this morning, which is right here, and it's also 50% of the Asian session today. We also have key areas within these zones here. It's covering the Asian session high from Wednesday. It's also the London low. It's also the New York lunch low. It's also the NYEM, the Asian session low from today. We've also got the London low from today as well. And we've got the Asian session low from the key level yesterday. So again, identify and know where your structure is and what you're looking at. We'll come back in the next 10 minutes or so, see where we are candle wise. There's no need to rush anything, no need to rush anything. You've just got to let the candles do what they need to do. You need them to produce the price action, and you need to follow where the price is and understand the liquidity and where your future targets could be. Okay. Hopefully, we're making a little bit of sense in this for you at the minute. I'll be back in due course. Right, so update coming into the end of this candle. We are consolidating on the CAD-JPY. I'll make this run through a little bit quick and then we'll pause and go on to the next candle. So the CAD-JPY, we're clearly going to close in a consolidator in a consolidatory phase. Okay, we haven't reached quite up into the bigger area, but we have swept just out of that New York EM session. There's the close of the candle. There's the start of the next one. We'll look at the Euro USD. Now, this is a little bit interesting because we are now engulfing the previous candle. Okay, so we may be able to drop down into the 5-minute on this one. And not so much dropping the 5-minute yet on this one, but the euro, we can drop into a 5-minute. And what we'll do is we'll have this set. We'll put our fibs in. And we'll just measure what is between on that discounted area. We've got around about 8 pips. So we're just going to follow a price on this, okay? And what we'll do is on the 5-minute, we'll keep tabs on it. We'll just continue to follow that candle. The lower it goes, the wider that fib zone becomes. And then we wait for the retracement back in. Once we start getting the next candle and it's bullish, okay. Just get rid of this. Once we get the next candle come in, we want to see the momentum stay within the 0.5 and the 0, okay? That just tells me the momentum at that current time is contained. Just because if we close here now and then we go into this next candle and it immediately comes and touches that 50%, it's telling me that there's momentum there, and the momentum might want to spike the price and go to this higher side. Because remember, overall, we are technically in an uptrend, okay? What we need to see after this candle, the next one, we just need to see it kept contained between here. So then when we move into the candle after that, if we do get a touch on the 50%, we have a bit more confluency and a little bit more trust in the probability that we may get from a bullish candle, we may get an engulfing bearish sell-off, okay? So at the moment, this has made the high, this has made the low. It's contained just above the order block here, but we just need this to stay within the parameter of the naught and the 0.5. And then from there, it would be ideal to see the next candle to also stay within that setup, okay? So that is what it is. We've got 2 minutes left. I'll just pause the video. We'll come back and we'll take a look in the next 5 minutes. Right, so the GU, we've got to look at the GU as well. We're starting to pull down. We want this close of the candle to be, we want it to stay within the containment. When we close out of this candle, we also want it to stay within this area because it just tells me that the price is wanting to sort of maybe still stay bearish. We'll go back up to that Euro USD. Price is still contained, so that's looking all good for us there. We're down to the last 13 seconds. Again, I would have liked the price on this. We just wait for this here. I would have liked the price on the 15-minute to be a bearish engulfing. There's not enough here to tell me that I'm going to get in on an entry on it. However, that euro, we did have an engulfing candle out of this. So I'm a little bit more interested in the Euro USD. So we're going to have a look at the Euro. The Euro is really still strong mind. So we just need to be mindful of that. The USD is gaining a bit more strength. But again, this was in the high 90s early on, if you remember, guys. So it is disappearing a bit. We just need to be careful. We need this now because we're now into the moment, what I call the momentum candle. We need it to be contained within what we call the fish tank analogy. So we've identified the low. We just need price to stay consolidated within this small amount of area. And that small amount of area is only a range of about 8 pips. If we get the close of that candle there, then we can expect an alert. We can set an alert at the 50%, which is the discounted area of the pullback from the higher high. So again, we're just keeping an eye out for that. We've got 3 minutes left. I do want to see this stay within the fish tank analogy. That GU again, it could be a bit risky on this one, to be fair, but this at the minute it is staying within this. So that's the momentum candle at the minute. It's not going to be identified as a low on the previous candle until this one closes within this area, because that swing low is predetermined by a fence post in the ground and the two higher wicks either side being higher up, and then the middle peg. Okay, if that makes sense. So like you see, one middle peg there, one to the left, one to the right, have to stay higher up than what this stake is, if that makes sense. The CAD-JPY, again, if we just go into the 15 minutes, the 15-minute is now engulfing on here. So we've got 7 minutes left. So we could have an area to pull at the minute in a moment on this. So the price is starting to line up nicely for us. We'll just take it as it is. Again, we'll go into that 5 minutes. There's a 5-minute touch on the 50%. Again, risky because we haven't got the separation candle. At the moment, this one is behaving beautifully at the minute. So I'm really interested in the euro setup. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll pause the video. I'll be back in a short while once we see what happens on these two. Right, so I've got the kids coming in from school shortly. We can see prices dropped further down. Okay. Let's just get rid of that. We'll put this back up here. Prices pulling further down. It is what it is. We just follow that there. The GU, again, price is being contained in here at the moment. So we may be able to set up an alert on this, to be fair. We'll just get this in here. Again, it's came in a touch straight. This is a bit risky for me, to be fair. I'll still set up an alert, to be fair. Let's have a look. We'll set up an alert on here to create that. This one would be an aggressive move because, like I say, what you've seen here, touch, we went and spiked straight into it. So I'm not particularly happy with it as an entry. But again, if we get into it, we'll go down to 1 minute. Ideally, I want to see this contained within the price of this here. Okay. But again, we're doing this to test out the method, the strategy, and everything else on this. The CAD-JPY, we'll just go to that as well, guys. We can see on here the 15 minutes. Yeah, we've got the engulfing, so we can now place this out on here as well. And we'll just watch for that. Okay, so let's just take a look. So we're watching for price on that. The GU, waiting for the retracement in. The EU, we're waiting for the retracement in. We'll put an alert on this as well. Okay. Again, the kids are just about to come back in, so I'll be on as and when I can. We'll see if we can catch an entry. I'll see you in a bit. All right, so we can see, guys, look, price is just melting at the minute on the GU. And we've got the displacement coming in the EU. Let's just take a look. Again, price is melting on here. We might miss out on an entry, but we follow the rules. We'll just see what happens. We'll bring this in. And then we've got the CAD-JPY as well. Again, we'll just put an alert on here. Like I say, I've got the kids due back any second, so it's just going to interrupt me right on when price is going to come in. But like I said, I'll try and catch it for you guys. We'll go into that 5 minutes. Uh, and again, I talk about the separation candle. We're waiting to see that after, because this is pushed down. We want to see a closer candle, and then we want to see the momentum stay within here. Okay, that's on the CAD/JPY. The Euro USD, again, following price down on here. We can see on here, price has mitigated through. We're just opening a new candle. We want this new candle, in fairness, to stay within this realm. Okay, we'll just keep an eye on that. The GU, same again, price is broken down and through, so that's that there. And we've got this momentum here. We want to keep this contained within this area, okay, without a touch of that 50%. So like I say, we've got three setups basically hanging and waiting on the condition. We've done the anchor, okay, we move the anchor and move the ship if we sort of break the lows. We just continue to do that until we come into the condition 5 minutes and we understand the momentum candle, as we call it. We want the momentum candle to stay contained within that fish tank, and then it's going to become a separation candle confirmed, and then we can take it down to the into from the 5 and then into the 1 minute. So again, each candle at the minute is in its phase of the momentum. So while it's live, it's called a momentum candle. When it closes inside of the fish tank, we now have the confirmation of the separation candle. That tells us that the momentum is in our favor for probability. So then we could hit the discounted area for the 1 minute trigger. Okay, I'll pause the video. I'll be back in a short while, guys. Well, again, guys, we've came in and we've come down below here. Okay, so we're following price. We need the lows to be made. We've got the Euro USD. This is staying within its parameter. The CAD/JPY, again, this is also came down on price. So it's just a case of following that price action, and then hopefully we're not going to get too far away from what I would call the station. We're pretty far away there at the minute, 17 pips. I don't want to be getting into a trade if it's got too wide of a pippage on the SL to entry, to be fair. We'll just keep an eye on this. We've got the CAD/JPY as well, the Euro USD and the GBP. We need to bring this in. Okay, so we're just following price as it is. I'll be back in a short while again. All right, so what we're saying here, guys, this is just falling down on price now. The GU's pretty strong. The USD's come into strength, to be fair, from what it was earlier on. So I might give the GU a miss today. The EU, again, it might be similar with this as well. It's starting to sink down a bit more. What we're seeing from here is a good 17 to 20 pips. The CAD/JPY at the minute, it's coming back up. So we've got the low. Now we're looking for that separation candle. Okay, we're waiting for the separation candle to come into place. So the CAD/JPY may be the trade for today. But at the minute, I'm not going to be looking to get in on the trade on the EU or the GU, to be fair. I'll keep my tabs on it, but price is it's sort of fallen away from where it's at the minute. We'll just have a look. So that's the GU. That's the EU. Prices starting to come back a little. And then the CAD, this is the one I'm keeping an eye on. I'll bear with us, guys, because I've got the father-in-law here. So the CAD/JPY is coming back on a separation candle there. Just give me a few minutes, guys, 2 seconds. So we're following price, guys. The CAD JPY, we've come a bit further down. This will be the candle. We're getting too far away from the area at the minute, in my opinion. So I will follow it, but I won't be entering on this here, on this account. But I will do the setup if it comes in within time before 4 o'clock. Okay. So we've got the low, we've got the high. This is the momentum candle at the moment. 50%. We don't go to the 1 minute until we hit the 50%. Now we need a separation candle. Okay, we need it to be contained. The further away we drop down, the more space and breathing room we have. Okay, so we'll go into euro. Again, the euro, we do actually have the separation candle confirmed. And so if we do get price come back up, we've got a potential for an entry here. If price continues to the downside, and we'll check the euro to the USD. The euro is pretty strong. The USD, we did start the session at about 10%. It's now 50. So the USD is showing strength. So therefore, this might start tanking a little. With that being said, like I say, we do have that separation candle here. We do need a bit of a pullback for a trigger a possible entry. 15 pips. It's quite a bit of movement, to be fair. From that, we've got the GU. Again, the GU, it's just tanking. This has left the station. So again, if we look at this from that 15-minute aspect, there's just too much momentum coming back down. But we'll keep an eye on it, like I say, and what we'll do is we'll be back in the next 5 or 10 minutes. We'll just see where price is. So at the minute, we've got the CAD-JPY, we've got the alert set up here. And the bias so far is pretty spot on. I did see a bit of a sweep, and then we may see it start to melt. But we just need the conditions to come in for us with regards for it to follow the plan. Okay, we're starting to get some bullishness here. Maybe we'll get a touch into the 50%. And the GU, again, we're just on the peg, the fence peg here. We do need this here to close within the tank, but also the next momentum candle, as I would call it, to stay within here. And then we can move into the separation side where we get a touch entry. Okay, so again, I'm going to pause the video, be back in a second, waiting for the momentum to do after this one. Euro USD, we're on the separation candle, so we're looking for a retrace to touch entry on the discounted area. And then the CAD JPY, again, it looks like we're getting the separation candle here as well, so we could be in for the touch entry on the discount as well. Okay, I'll be back in a short moment. We'll see where we are with price in the next 10-15 minutes. Okay, so like I say, the CAD JPY, we've certainly got the separation candle. We want to see the touch back into the 50%. The Euro USD, for me, it's coming a little bit too far now, in all honesty. We'll keep an eye on it. The GU, again, price is melted away. But let's look at this on a whole picture. I did say we would possibly come up into these areas and we might start melting away, and the bias is actually spot on. It's just obviously the conditions, the setup, the parameters, the probability that we need for everything to stack. We need it to be a quick, short change turnover. As it stands, that frame where we are of what I call a fish tank, it's an overall move of nearly 40 pips. Now, we speak about average daily ranges and things like that. We're about 40 pips overall on that. The return is around about 20 pips. So we need that to return into 20 pips. And it's more or less doing it now. You're getting the return at the minute. But again, we do not want to see the candle after the bottom swing to come immediately as a momentum straight into that touch, because the probability of it going further after the momentum shift straight after this low would possibly make it take it higher, if that makes sense. So we need this to disappear, okay, and sort of channel itself as a consolidated phase inside of the premium section, because this area here is premium. Okay, this area here above is discount. So again, price momentum's coming back up into this. We do have an order block in that 50%. We'll go to the Euro USD. Again, similar with this. We're just waiting for this to dissipate a bit and hopefully do a little bit of consolidation before we get a touch entry. And then again, the CAD was the one I was more certainly looking forward to getting in on. However, we've just broken the low as well. So we're back to resetting ourselves with regards to a momentum candle on here. So overall, we are getting towards 4 o'clock. So it would tell me I'm not getting in on a trade. I would rather do these sessions and show you my thought process and what I'm looking at. It can be frustrating when we don't get a trade, but at the same time, doing these videos for you guys, hopefully you're seeing the value in my sort of mindset and eyes that I'm seeing on the price at the minute. So again, well, it looks like we're going to come up and touch into the halfway point of this. Similar with this, again, I want the close of candle. We're going to get the close of candle now, and we're coming into a new 5-minute candle. However, I want to see it stay because this one would be the separation candle, if that makes sense. But it's just going to continue. We'll look at which one was this? This was the GU. So the GU, the GBP is pretty strong. USD is getting a bit weak again. We'll take a look at the euro. Again, the euro is coming up to touch. Let's have a look where what the euro is, 77% to the 36. Okay. There's an alarm going off now. That's probably the GU, to be fair. So we'll come into GU. We'll take a look at this. Like I said, I'm not going to get in on a proper entry on this account here at the minute, but we will take that to the 1 minute. We'll see what sort of comes of this. So what we're looking at for a sell-off, or what you need to see is basically a buying candle, and then you want to see bullish engulfing. Okay, so again, we'll do that. We want to see this on the 1 minute, which is what we're on at the minute. And there's another alarm going. That'll be the EU, and in fact it is. So again, what we're looking for on this, similar, because we are looking for sells today. We are looking for the bullish, followed by a bearish engulfing. And again, 1 min. So here's the bull candle coming in at the minute. And when we look at the short, like I see, you're looking at a huge move on this, to be fair. Go to the true deer, I suppose we just need an engulfing candle, to be honest. We're not getting that at the minute. We've got 10 seconds left. Go to this GU. We're certainly not going to get the engulfing on this at the moment. We'll look at the card. The card is, again, it's just melting away the card as well, to be honest. About 5 minutes on that. We just need this to stay within this here. We've got the Euro USD in the 1 minute. Again, we do need the bullish candle followed by the bearish engulfing, and we're not getting that at the moment. And then again, a similar sort of process on here. Or above that high. And then we'll bring this down to a 2, a 1 to 2. Like I say, I'm waiting for the bullish candle and then followed by a bearish engulfing. So this at the moment we'll look at this. We've got a bullish candle here, so this next candle might be a bearish one, to be fair, so we may get an entry unless this stays bullish. We'll look at that Euro USD. Again, we haven't got a bullish candle on that yet, so we are waiting for the bullish candle here first for this bearish. So we've probably got better chance on this candle at the minute. Again, it's staying as a bullish candle at the moment. So we're entering a new candle. We've got a bullish candle there. So what you're seeing here, we've got the bullish candle now. We just want to see if this stays bearish, and we need it to engulf this here. We'll just see what happens. We've got 30 odd seconds left. Again, it looks like it's going to continue bullish. Yeah, continuing bullish. The GU, yeah, so we've got the bullish candle again here. We'll wait for this next one to see if it's going to be bearish for us. And it's all, remember, it's got to engulf. It's got to engulf the price. We've got a very good chance that this one will engulf this one here. We've got indecision here. Look. Euro USD, we are bearish. We just needed to engulf this here. And again, the candle is staying bullish. Looks like we need to wait for another candle. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm not paused. I don't want to pause the video at the minute because we are so close to an entry, to be fair. So once again, we've got the bullish candle again. We're still on this phase. We need this candle here to do this. Okay, so like I say, I like to be visual. This is what we're needing to see next from this candle here. We need it to be bearish engulfing. And at the moment, there's a little bit of fair value, a little bit more at this higher side, to be fair, so it might continue a little bit higher up. The GU, again, similar sort of process. We're waiting for the bearish engulfing, but at the minute we're still bullish on this. We've got 10 seconds left. It looks like we may get an entry. We might get an entry, guys. Yes, it looks like we might get an entry. No, we don't. We haven't gotten an entry. Price didn't close. See this there? See where that is there? It didn't close below that, so it wasn't an engulfing move. It was on the very last second, so we stay out of that trade. Let's get a JPY again. We're up for price to come up. We're getting bang on 4 o'clock at the moment. We've got 20 seconds. Hopefully, we'll get an engulfing move here. This here, we needed to engulf this candle here. 4 seconds. And it still hasn't engulfed it. Right, so we just move on. We want a bullish candle now on the euro. Let's take a look. We need a bullish candle on the GU as well. So again, we're in the position of just needing the bullish before the bearish. This is where your patience comes in, to be fair. You just need to sit on your hands. The card was still getting pushed up towards the 50%. On this one here, it very, very nearly did an engulfing move, but in the last second it came back to here. So that's not an entry, remember, because when you look at the candle deeper in, price is not swallowing the momentum of this one, so it's still stuck in. So we do need a green candle before we can look for that bearish, and hopefully we'll get a green candle on this. Like I said, this is where you've got to learn to be patient, guys. The EU, go back on the GU. We could be getting a setup on this one. We've got the green candle now. We've got roughly 30 seconds left. Let's just take a look. So we are engulfing at the moment, most certainly, but we've got 10 seconds left. 7 seconds. So I'm not going to get on this entry officially on the account of this. We're just going to follow the price because it is too late in the session for me to enter. So that is an entry there. Now we're looking for 2% move. So that's the 2% there, 1 to 2. If we set up this other one as well, again, if we do this up to here, okay, we come down to the true date, it's a 1 to 3, 2, 2. And then again, we've got the session open on there. So we're just going to keep an eye on this, see where we are. We do this on here. That will be a take partial area there. We'll come into Euro USD. Again, we're looking for the bullish followed by the bearish. We still haven't getting it. The KJPY, again, we still got massive room to come up to here. Okay, we still got about 16 pips. So all eyes is on the euro at the moment. The GU, we do have an entry. I'm not expecting this to do anything, to be fair, because it is after the time I would normally get in, and the session has closed. You can see here, but there's nothing wrong with following price at the moment. We'll just keep an eye on this. So again, remember, guys, what we're doing this, if you just bear with me, we're waiting for, on this, we're waiting for the bullish followed by a bearish. I'll be back in a short while. If we do get an entry on this, I'll mark it when we come back on the video. I'll not be too long. I'll come back in a short while. All the way there, we're nearly there now, to be fair. This one will be an entry after this candle. We've got bullish, 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 unless this is going to continue up. We've got around about 40 seconds. Into this GU, we'll take a look at this. We're in a little bit of heat. Like I say, we're after the session time now, so it's just a matter of just watching what it's doing. 20 seconds left, and we're still bullish. Still bullish. 10 seconds. Right, so there's an entry as well, guys. Okay, there's an entry there. Yeah, and then we'll come into this. Computer's freezing up at the moment. One to two. Okay, we'll mark out the 50%. There's 50% there. So from there, guys, I'm not going to be entering the card now, but we have look and we are watching the euro and we are watching the GBP USD. Okay, looking at this, I don't think we're going to get anything from it today because this here, the block and the session block, we're out of the trading zone, but we'll follow it. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'll be back in a short while, guys. All right, so a bit of an update so far, guys. We are in a bit of profit. It's heading back up though. Like I say, I would prefer the entries to come in when we are right on here. The GU, again, a little bit of profit. Remember the reason why I've got two ends is low hanging for 2%. But I also want to see if we come back to the Trudy Open, which is 3.28. We can see we're just meandering about, we're consolidating now. And the CAD JPY, just no entry on that. So, like I say, if I'm honest with you, if I was live in any of these after this time, I probably would have just scalped and got a few pips out of it, in all honesty. But we'll see if this is going to come to fruition. Again, I'm not holding my hopes up for it simply because we're outside of the zone at the minute, and we're just going to continue. This will obviously go into the New York lunch, which will be coming up in the next 40 minutes, but also possibly the New York PM time as well. Okay, so I'll be back in maybe half an hour to an hour, and we'll see where price has gone to. Okay, see you in a bit. Right, okay, guys. So, like I say, I would not have gotten in this, but we are looking to see what can happen with regards to being outside of the session. Okay, what I will say is on this, the New York lunchtime is starting now. I do believe that we may push higher out of this and it will stop this bit out. We'll be very, very lucky if we continue down. It built liquidity by breaking this to trick sellers. I do think we're going to break a bit higher before we actually do come down. So during the lunch hour in New York, I do think we're going to come up, we're going to come above the EM session high before we go further. And it'll be the same sort of process for this one here, which is the Euro USD, because we're still stuck in the consolidation area and in the 50%. I think we may push that a little bit higher and come into these zones higher up, like I mentioned earlier on this morning or this afternoon when we start the NY session at 2 p.m. It's now 5:10, and we're heading into the lunchtime hour of the New York session. The CAD I've left that well alone because we simply melted away before we even come back. But the bias was more or less spot on with this, although I did think we may have came up a little bit higher. To be fair, it just melted away from itself, and it's now heading back into the London zone here. So overall, we caught a beauty this morning on the London session, which went to 6.31%. We weren't so lucky coming into the EM session of the New York, which would have been, like I say, at 2 o'clock this afternoon when we first came on this. So that is out the window now. And just to reiterate back onto this, the bias that I have overall on this, okay, on the Euro USD and the GBP USD, I do think that we will come down, but because we are still within the consolidated zone in the 50% of the EM session, my consensus and thoughts now is we may push that a little bit higher out of the New York EM session. Maybe not so much in the lunch hour, but as we go into the PM session as well, we may go higher before we drop down. That's what I'm looking at. Again, this isn't always about getting in on a trade. Again, I've got to stress, We did not actively get in on this. We just set it up as a general bias, knowing that there was a setup there, but it wasn't confluent and it wasn't within the parameters of the conditions. Okay, it will be interesting to see how it plays out, if structurally, if this will hold, if the bias will stay, but more importantly, how is the lunch hour going to sort of play out, and how is the PM session going to play out during the New York sessions. Okay, so that's the update for now. I'll come back on in a few hours' time, maybe about what, say 6, 7, maybe 8 o'clock, and then see if we have actually came down to the 50% of the 1 to 2. Again, the 1 to 2 would be around about there, the 1 to 2. The 50% of the take partial would be around about there as well. That's on the GU and the EU. Again, we may come down and test these areas. We'll just need to wait and see. But we'll come back. The bias overall is we did think we would come into these zones and then come down on the session. I thought it may have happened on the EM. It looks like it's going to happen either in the lunch hour if it does not take out the high first. Okay, so that's the bias. That's what I'm looking at. And that's the thoughts overall. Like I say, we'll come back in a couple of hours and we'll see whether we've actually come in and tested this area of the take partial or whether we've actually struck out. Okay, so I'll see you. I'll see you as and when this actually happens, guys. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Right, okay, guys. So it looks like we are going in the bias direction. I mentioned a nice area of the take partial has been hit on the GU, the EU. We'll just have a little look at that as well. We're not far away from hitting a take partial on that as well. Again, I didn't enter these. I've got to stress that was simply because I was outside of my time allowance zone. But it's good to see how these things react. I'm always doing this. I'm vlogging it each day on each session. It's just so I can look back on stuff and sort of learn from the process and procedure that I'm doing as well. Like I say, fantastic. It looks like we are around about no more than 3 pips away from a take partial point on that EU, but more certainly GU. We've definitely hit the take partial area there. So again, that's 6.31% on the CAD-JPY from the London session, which is in the previous video, if you go and see that. Plus that one there here, which has gone to 1% out of the 2 available. So that's 7.31. And then again, when we go into the EU, by the time, if we drop into this would make it into 8.31 for the day. So again, system work, guys. The system's absolutely fantastic. I just want to take the opportunity at the moment. I'm still going to record. I'm going to stay on. I'm just going to revisit this back in the next couple of hours. If you are still watching this, okay, remember, if you're not in the Discord, you can go up to here. It's going to tell you more about the Discord that we've got. If you're watching this in Discord already, please hit the emojis. Let me know you're watching these videos. It just lets me know that you're going through the process of this. And obviously inside the Discord, once we get Christmas out of the way with, I'm going to be doing a lot more with this stuff and maybe some extra stuff as well with regards to sessions and things like that. Okay. And if you are watching on Facebook, again, go and visit this website, drop the likes, the comments, shares. And if you're seeing value in this on the Facebook page that I have, simply just go in the comments and hit the star button for an epic supporter. Okay, guys, I'm going to come back onto the share screen. We'll take another little look. A little bit of plug-in there for what we're doing. So again, we're waiting for a little bit more of a drop for the EU to come down to go into the take partial. The GU, like I say, is already into and touched the take partial area. Let's have a look at the euro strength and the G strength. We're pretty strong on these, to be fair. The USD, I can do with a bit more strength to come in on the USD. Gold at the moment absolutely tanked, so there's a big sell-off on gold at the minute. Hopefully we'll get the USD may get a little bit stronger if that's the case. Let's go back into the news just before I go and pause the video for a bit. Let's see if there's any news coming up. just before we head off for a short break. So we do have the Bank of England speech coming up. I mentioned this earlier. It's coming up. In fact, it's been the Bank of England speech. So it is now 25 to 6. We don't have any more news until later on tonight. So all the news are out the way at the moment. So I'm pretty happy with that. And like I say, we'll just continue to monitor this. I'll come back maybe in the next hour, see where we are with price. Okay, guys, hopefully you're getting value from this. I'll see you all in a bit. Right, okay, so I thought I'd just do a quick update. We are now coming down towards the take partial on the EU as well. The GU trade update on this. We've come through the take partial and we are heading down towards the 2%. Again, with regards to further targets I spoke about earlier on, the day, if you did this on here, and we had that there, that was around about the same. You've got further targets, which is the true day open. So even on the true day open, if it come down to that, it will be a 3.33%. We'll see if this comes down to the 2% area. Like I say, the EU, it is just consolidating. It's that time of day where it just slows down. We'll take a look at the price as well. So the euro and the GBP still relatively strong. The USD is getting some strength into it as well. So this is why this is consolidating at the minute. Okay, so as of at the moment, we're near enough at 1%, which is halfway of the 1 to 2. But we've surpassed, obviously, which earlier on, we've surpassed through that. We've actually come back down to the AM New York low. So this could quite easily, because we are in an uptrend, this could just be the new higher low from that higher high, and we might continue up and break through this high section. Which just remains to be seen. I'll close this off at around about, I'd say about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we'll see where price is then. Okay, we're coming into the NYPM session now. I'll see you in a bit, guys. Like I say, we broke through the lunch hour session, and we broke through the New York EM. So again, we may get a continuation to the buy side on this now, based upon that. But I'll see you in a bit. Right, okay, guys. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to call this session on the head now. I just feel as if this is going sideways now. You've seen the bias was there. I'll keep these on, and we can revisit it tomorrow if I look at a London session. So to close this off, we're in bits of profit. We didn't quite touch the take partial on the euro. But on the GBP USD, we are at the take partial area of maybe 1%. There was 6.31% this morning as well on the London session. Check out the other video on that. So again, a good possible between 7 to 8% on today on the sessions. Okay. All I ask you guys to do, we'll revisit this tomorrow when I do the London session tomorrow morning. All I ask for you guys to do, if you're watching this in the Discord, drop me emojis, okay? If you're watching on Facebook, head over to this website. That'll take you and give you more information on the Discord that we have, because we will be putting this massively into the Discord come after Christmas. I'm just going through the process of ironing out a vlogging journal and a journey on how I can sort of refine things and make this a lot better for when we get ready for after Christmas. Okay, if you're watching this on Facebook, again, head over to here to find out more what I do with Discord and everything else. Like I say, everything that you're seeing will be getting refined and put into a mechanical system to trade into the Discord together. Okay, and like I say, hit the like, the share, drop a comment if you're watching on Facebook. I have been starting to put these on my YouTube channel as well. I've started to refine my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please drop a comment or hit the thumbs up, and even hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell on the YouTube. Okay. I shall catch you all later, and we'll see what we're doing in the London session tomorrow morning, guys. Okay. See you later.